Hello and welcome to another episode of Free to Ford Bronco, where we're going to start this episode by telling you what sold since the last episode. So I sold this Adidas hat from Melissa. She gifted this to me for free and it sold for $9, and it actually sold as an international sale, so I thought that this was excellent. Again, pure profit for me, going towards my Ford Bronco. And then the next item is actually something that I took out of my own personal closet. It's Adidas X Stella McCartney. I used to work for Adidas for 4 years. You can say Adidas or Adidas. I prefer to say Adidas because it is a German company and it was named after their founder, Adolf Dassler. The Stella McCartney X Adidas collabs, certain pieces are worth quite a bit of money, but most of them you're going to get roughly between, you know, what you would normally get for an Adidas piece, between $15 to $30. But these shorts are super cute. It was from one of her golf lines. They were a size 4 because I used to be a size 4, and they sold for $21.14, which was an offer that I sent out to watchers, and I thought that was great. Another piece from when I used to work at Adidas, my favorite color is green, which you will see later. Or if you're new to the channel and have no idea that green is my favorite color. This is a originals piece, so Adidas has quite a few lines. Their main lines are the equipment line, which is the mountain logo, that's their performance line, and then they also have the Adidas Originals line, which is their heritage line. So it's their, well, it's not the original logo, but it is the oldest logo that is still currently used. And I got so many lowball offers for this jacket, between $5 to $10. And normally, I've said it before on this channel, that if I get a bunch of lowball offers at the beginning of a listing, I just need to wait it out and it will sell for full price. And I was correct, because I priced this very reasonably. This was already at the lower end of the market. It sold it for $22.87. The buyer paid for shipping. That was my full asking price. Again, this is a piece that I wore quite often in the fall winter months when I worked for Adidas. So I basically got this for free because we used to have a clothing credit that we could get every, I think it's every quarter. We would get a certain dollar amount of free clothes. So I paid nothing for this originally. This was a gift from Victoria. She gifted me a bunch of very nerdy, brand new stuff. From most of it was from Free Love Fine, which is, you know, a third-party company that does some licensing. This was Horde, which is from World of Warcraft, a Blizzard game. I've spent probably 4.5 years playing WoW pretty religiously when it first came out, you know, in 2004, a long time ago. But these sold for my full asking price as well, for $14.87. And again, Victoria, thank you very much. This actually was an item I got in the men's ThredUp box. I decided to take some of my profits and see if I could turn more profits. And so I purchased one of the ThredUp men's rescue boxes when they were doing a sale on the rescue boxes. And my cost of goods was roughly $5 for those. And this sold for my full asking price of $19.87. I did get a few new tags items in there. This is a Calvin Klein piece and it's a size small. I know there are a lot of people that only pick up larger sizes, but I sell all sizes because all people need clothes, and I've made plenty of money off of men's pieces that are in small and medium size. Another piece from the ThredUp box, so again a $5 buy cost, sold for $12.87. I was actually unsure about this brand, I had to look it up. But New XU is an Australian performance activewear brand, and Flexit is a personal training service, kind of like Mirror or Peloton. And so I was like, you know what, there's nobody else selling this kind of stuff, so if I put it up, it might sell just for the fact that it has two things going for it, and there isn't any competition. And I'm glad I decided to, because it did actually sell really quickly for $12.87, my full asking price. And then this is another item also from my own closet. This is me opening, I opened up a box basically of all of my old stuff from like 2009, 2010. That I had packed up before moving. This is actually also around the time period that I left Adidas. This is not an Adidas piece, this is an American Eagle piece, and I actually had this since school, when I was in, I think, high school. So this sold for $18 and I knew it would sell pretty quickly. I kept the green one for sentimental reasons, but I went ahead and sold this one because the Y2K era is popular now. And I thought that it would sell, and I was very correct. So that was great. All right, and so after all of those sales and we add the profit amount to my current Bronco fund, we are at $326.16. And the reason why I am filming in the car right now is a pretty great reason, and let me show you why. So this is my 2023 Ford Bronco that I have waited 2.5 years for, and it has finally arrived. You can see here that it is a 4-door. It has the modular hardtop, so actually all of this can come off. And actually the doors come off too, so it's kind of like a Jeep competitor. That's basically what it is. And of course it's green, because it's me, so it's gonna be green. And I actually built this with reselling in mind. So we're gonna come back here, look at my big Ford Bronco tire here. If I open this up. So this is an add-on. This is not something that most people get on their Broncos, but I picked this out because I buy a lot of hard goods and I wanted something that would make it so I could have safe storage in here for that. It currently has my disc golf discs in it, but I also have my bag of bags, so I can use my bag of bags as soft padding and then put them in here, and then I don't have to worry about them rolling around in the Bronco if I go on trips. This add-on as well, these are the bags that the modular hardtop can go into and the doors for storage. So that way, you know, they don't get all nasty in your garage, or they're actually meant to also go in the back here. I should just go ahead and do this. They're meant to go in the back here. So you can see how big this is inside. And it's got the roll bars here as well, so that way you don't have to worry about them. And I love it. It's really, really spacious inside. Again, here's from the other angle. I had to take my packages recently, but it's super roomy and super comfy in here. You can kind of see up top how everything comes apart, so that way you could take the top off and go topless if you want to. But I'm really happy. So what ended up happening is July 3rd, while I was still in Appalachia, I got a phone call and a text message with a picture saying it's here. And I was like, I am not though. So is it okay if you hold it until the end of the week? Because I'm not gonna be back until then. And they were like, yeah, no problem. I did have to put a $500 deposit down for this vehicle 2 years ago, because for those of you that are new here, I ordered this when I still worked a 9-to-5 job. I ordered this, I actually I reserved it when registration opened up. So I had to pay $100 to get on the list to order a vehicle. I did that on my birthday, so June, at the end of June, I believe in 2021. They didn't actually call me to say, okay, you can put orders in until October of 2021. So I had to wait 4 months. And then I ordered it, and then I got another phone call saying that, hey, so yeah, we're not gonna be able to build that for 2022, so you need to order it again. And so I did. I ordered it again to get a 2023 model at the end of 2022. And then I got another email in March saying, yeah, you know, we got a lot of orders, so here's the deal. You either take off the hardtop and the towing package and the roof rail, and we will, of course, take that expense off and then also give you $2,500 for changing your order and a rebate, or you can cancel your order and buy something off the lot and we'll give you $2,500 there, or you can keep the order on the books as it is and it might get built, but if it doesn't get built, you lose your price protection. You're gonna have to reorder it again at the end of the year. So I was like, you know what? I've already waited 2 years for this because of the fact that I wanted a modular hardtop. And I was like, you know, I've already waited 2 years for this. I'm gonna keep waiting. And it paid off. As I mentioned before, they said that they were gonna put it in production at the end of May. They pushed that back 2 weeks. to about mid-June, and it did finally get built. And then I was reading on the Bronco forum, okay, once it's built, how long is it going to take? And they said, well, if it's a rail sticker, it could take 2 weeks to 4 months. So I saw it had a rail sticker, so I was like, okay, well, I'm still not going to get it till October. So basically been almost 3 years at that point. Hey, Editing Bob here. I feel like some of y'all might be like, hey, the math is not mathing. You said you reserved it in 2021. So how is that 2.5 years? How is it almost 3 years for you? And that is because Ford actually unveiled that they were going to do the Ford Bronco in July of 2020. And then I couldn't get on the wait list until, like, I decided, no, I actually do want a Ford Bronco at the end of 2020. And then I couldn't get on the wait list until 2021. That's how in demand they were. So that is why I say 2.5 years, 3 years, is because it took me about half a year to figure out if, like, no, I actually really want this, because I started seeing more reviews and more tech specs and that kind of stuff. And I was like, no, I actually do want this at the end of 2020. And then I didn't actually order it until then. But that's why when I say 2.5, 3 years, it's because I wanted one since they said that they were going to remake the Bronco. My daddy had a 1970s model. It had a big blue one with this super heavy fiberglass white top. So, like, I knew how awesome Ford Broncos could be. And when they did the modular hardtop, that's when I realized, oh no, I actually do really want this, because I remember trying to take the top off of a Ford Bronco, like the 70s version of the Ford Bronco. Hello, Loxy. I feel like you weren't in this video at all, so that's a way to be in the video. And when I saw that they were doing a modular hardtop that one person could take off and on by themselves, and it was lighter weight and easier to deal with, that's when I was like, okay, I want this, we're doing this. So that's why the math maybe is not mathing, is because I'm doing things from the time that it was announced and I decided that yes, this is what I want. So I was like, all right, I'll just hope. And they called me. So it actually ended up being only 2 weeks. And Friday I went and picked it up. And when I picked it up, I mean, like, I was in a ball of anxiety and nervousness for 4 hours while I was at the dealership. At first, like, the first 30 minutes was like super exciting, and I was like trying not to get in the vehicle because I knew I was gonna cry, and I did cry. Because this is the first time I've ever bought a new vehicle, and this is the first time I've ever ordered a vehicle, and I don't really care about cars at all. This is only the second time where I have been like, I need to have that. The last time that I had this overarching desire to get a vehicle was the Nissan Cube, which they don't make. Well, they do still make them, but they don't have them in the States anymore. And I loved that car so much. I literally cried my eyes out when it died, because at that point in my life, I was not at a point where I could afford to get it fixed. So I ended up buying the car that you guys have seen me in the entire time on this channel. And I hated that car. So this means a lot to me, and it is very motivating. And I know that this series has kind of been like, we'll do things and see how this works. But now I have a number. Because honestly, everything was up in the air. I didn't know exactly if they would honor the original price I ordered it at 2021. Spoiler alert, they didn't, which was a $2,300 increase in price, which was a little painful. But I'm very transparent on this channel, so I'm sorry if you don't care about any of this. But those of you that do, thanks for still watching. I was very nervous going into, like I said, it was like 3.5 hours of me just being a knot, because I remember when I worked my 9 to 5, I built businesses for this one individual. And I remember at the beginning of him building the first business I helped him with, getting financing was really hard being self-employed. And so I was scared Because if you are good at business as a self-employed person, you take every deduction possible to where it looks like you don't make any money to make your taxes as low as possible, which I'm good at because I did that for 10 years before I decided to be my own boss. So I was really worried about that I wasn't going to be able to get financing for the vehicle that I've waited 2.5 years for, to the point where like I even panic messaged my mom and was like, hey, if I can't get financing by myself, will you help me out? And of course my mom is the most amazing human being possible, and she said absolutely she would. Just to have another person on the thing if it came up. It did not come up. What ended up happening is that they kicked it back to me, which again, ball of anxiety, and they said, hey, is it an actual business? And I was like, what do you mean? Is it an actual business? And they were like, well, is it an actual business? I'm like, I have an FEIN number. Is that what you're asking? And they said, yes, because it'll be easier for us and for the finance guys if you work for a business. And I was like, okay, yeah, here's my FEIN number. Go have at it. And this is also, by the way, after I got pre-approval from Ford for Ford financing. The reason why this became an issue is because they're like, your rate's gonna be crap from Ford. So they went ahead and ran stuff anyway, even though I told them I just wanted to get the asset first and then I would refinance later, which is still the plan. At some point I will refinance the vehicle. But I gave them the FEIN number and then it came back fine. All that anxiety for like 2.5 hours was for like 0.8%, not even a whole percent. That was the difference in interest rate, which sucked. That, and then also they kept going back and forth with Ford about whether or not they were going to offer my original 2021 price or not, which ended up not being a thing. So I mean, that's not their fault. I kind of figured that would happen, but that's fine. So I have the vehicle now, and I, like, my heart clenches every time I see it just because I'm just so happy. It's so beautiful. I don't know if the video was able to describe how amazing it is. And now I have a number. So now I have a number to work on. So at the beginning of the video, I had $326.16 in the Bronco fund. And my Bronco payment is $800 a month. And y'all are probably like, WTF, so hard right now. But it is a full-size SUV, and I did add a lot of extras to it because, again, this is going to be my forever vehicle. My dad still has the first new truck he bought in the 70s that still doesn't have 100,000 miles on it. And while maybe not getting 100,000 miles is gonna happen, but I do plan on keeping this for the rest of my life. And I built it that way. You guys saw, like, I built it for reselling. I built it with, I wanted 4-wheel drive and I wanted a towing package because I built this vehicle with the understanding that at some point my mom's not gonna be able to drive all the way to Appalachia to do our family thing once a year. So I wanted to build a vehicle that could do that with her. I mean, my mom is in amazing shape and super active, so I don't envision that happening. But again, this is my mindset. And then I also wanted it to be fun and beautiful, and it's green and it's got the Ford hardtop. So how am I going to make $800 a month to continue this Free to Ford Bronco series? So let's do that. So first, what I want to do is show you guys how to find your sell-through rate. Not a sell-through rate for a particular item, but how to calculate sell-through rate for your own store. Some people calculate sell-through rate a little bit differently, but this is how I do it for my store. So you're gonna go to your selling thing, and in there it's gonna show you your active, your sold, and your unsold. So this is a 90-day total, okay? So I have 1,135 active, and I have 336 sold. The unsold over there is stuff that I still have to take pictures of for Fix It Friday. So we're just gonna go ahead and exclude that for right now because right now those don't play into this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 135 and add 336, and that equals 1,471, okay? So 1,471, if math is not your strong suit, I'm so sorry. So now we're gonna take 336, divide 1,471. All right, so this means that I have a 22.8% sell-through. So 22.8% of my store sells regularly. So because I'm good at math, I know that if I keep a consistent sell-through rate of the 22.8%, I need to list per month $3,510 worth of money. And I will do the math for you real quick so that way you can see it. So if I do 3510, all right, so $3,510, and I multiply that by 22.8%, so this is 22.8% of 1, so 100, and I do that, that equals $800.28. Could I get it more exact by making it 35.8? Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to do that because that's not necessary. But so I need to list $3,510 of inventory a month and hope that I maintain the 22.8%. So that means this month, July, I need to list that amount of stuff. Now I do already have stuff listed from my previous videos, but now I need to list more stuff. And I have been gifted a bunch of stuff. I know Brett sent me a box, and Melissa gave me 3 bags of stuff when we went thrifting, before we went thrifting at Diversity Thrift, so I have a ton of stuff. But that'll be in a follow-up video. I just wanted to kind of show you that I got the new vehicle and I'm really excited, and then also what had sold for the previous video, where I'm at now. So technically I only have to make $500 more in sales from the stuff I've listed in order to reach the first payment. Actually not even $500, a little bit less than that, but we'll go over that in the next video. But I just wanted to share this information with you guys. I am so very excited about this. And so what's going to happen now is that whenever I do these Bronco videos, I'm going to show you the total amount of dollars that I listed to keep me accountable, because I know every month I have to list $3,510 worth of stuff in order to get to that $800 mark. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to keep you guys apprised, and I am just over the moon. I cannot express to you all just how completely overwhelmed I am that I'm doing this, and that I did it, and that I'm going to keep doing it, and that you guys are going to be along for the ride, I hope. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye! Bye.
Hero, hero. I wanna be a hero, hero. Oh, the hero.